Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another game in the first day of G1 League qualifier action. You're watching Beyond the Summit. I of course am LD of Beyond the Summit, and it's a pleasure to be here. Well, we had a slow start, I ran a little bit late, but now we're in the thick of things, now we're in a groove. And let's see how things are going to develop. We're currently in the round of 32. You can see the draft is underway, but I do want to show the bracket to those who are wondering exactly what's going on. Actually, I have a bigger bracket. Let me show it there. So, actually, it hasn't been updated with the result of the last match, but Dreams is out. First, Vietnam crushed him with a solo mid-wisp. Secret played out of his mind. So now we move on to the next match in this round of 32. It's actually only going to go until there are 8 teams remaining. So basically, we're going to have a few more matches. We have this round and then the round of 16 tomorrow. Then when it's down to 8 teams, it will move into phase 2, where those 8 teams will be pulled together with the 8 teams who were invited directly into phase 2, one of which is LGD International, for those who want to see them. Speaking of which, there are a lot of other games going on today. I will be casting all night. Not just the G1 League, but then the first day, the opening action of the We Play League. No Tidehunter, the big team to be watched, but some other teams in this Group E that we'll be casting, including Fnatic NA, Isurus, and one other team. I think it's Arctic. Someone's whose name is escaping me. It's a cool format. I really hope you guys will stay around to check that out if you stay up. But that's your European Dota fix. It'll be coming up later on this channel in, like, I think it's 5 hours or something like that, a little bit later on. Whereas over on our other stream, Gods is currently casting the GEST IDC, but I think the real highlight of the day, of the weekend, is going to be the GEST challenge. He will be covering that one over on twitch.tv/BeyondTheSummit too. By the way, if you're watching this stream directly on Twitch and you want to go the extra mile to support us and to support the G1 League, then I will ask you to do me a favor. I would really appreciate it if you do, which is to go watch this exact same stream at g1.2p.com. I will put that address in the chat just so everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. But by going here, you're basically directly supporting the sponsors, the organizers of this event. It's their English coverage portal for 17173 for the G1 League. So if you want to support the organizers, if you want to see more tournaments like this in the future, if you want more international teams, if you want a bigger prize pool, if you want more epic games, even more exciting production, then watching on their website is a step in that direction. So anyway, with that being said, let's introduce the two teams playing here today. On the Radiant side, we have Invasion Red, or just Invasion, I guess they're calling themselves nowadays. Invasion Gigabyte, we'll call them, but formerly known as Invasion Red. They, of course, hail from Malaysia, and they are playing against one of many Neolutions. Neolution is, well, it's a prolific race, the Neolution players. There's now 6 or 7 teams. This is one of them. This is one of the originals. It's the Neolution Esports Thailand roster. And we're going to see how they can match up against Invasion. I would give the edge to Invasion just based on their overall team's experience and sort of what I've seen from them in the past. And we'll have to see if that actually is the case here. Neolution Thailand, definitely a solid team, sort of a mid-tier team from the Asian scene, but not one you want to underestimate in SCA. You can easily drop a game to these guys if you play sloppy. And remember, the format of this tournament, unforgiving. Best out of 1, single elimination. So if you lose, you go home. So no room for errors. And that's why the beauty of this kind of format is, of course, upsets are possible. The curse of this format is that upsets are possible, but it makes things more interesting, so I'm kind of a fan of it. Plus, it's a good way to get through all these matches. So anyway, looking at the draft now, first pick went to Invasion. They start with the Nyx. Unusual to see him get through. The reason he gets through here is because the Shadow Demon was banned by Neolution Thailand. Looks like they wanted the Lifestealer. Shadow Demon is a great hero against him. Although having second pick, maybe they thought Invasion would go for it first. I'm not really sure, but I guess they figured we're giving away a Nyx. We don't really want to use the Shadow Demon, so let's make sure we get that Lifesteal in return. Not many teams would do this, to be honest, but let's see if they can make it work. They also get some great team fight control in the Mag. They have a vehicle for the Lifesteal later on in the game with that Infest. And the Rubik, so they back up the RP. They ensure that Invasion cannot steal it. Interesting little draft from them. Over on the side of Invasion, great map control. They're going to have the Hawk. They're going to have Nyx Ultimate, that Vendetta ability. This lineup for Invasion, it is not going to be safe to go anywhere unless maybe you're a fat Lifestealer. But Rubik, Mag will have to be careful in the mid game. As far as how the lanes are going to be, it's pretty much up in the air for Neolution Thailand. Mag obviously can go off lane. We saw that last game from MSI. Not really the most effective way to play the hero, but can work in a pinch if you want someone else to handle the mid lane. They can aggressive tri-lane with Rubik Lifestealer, or they can run the Lifestealer in the safe lane with Rubik pulling. Again, the Mag can go mid. The Mag can go sort of off lane or just doing mid pulls, although, again, they're unreliable, not really recommended in most cases. As for Invasion, They're banning a lot of the solo mids, the Queen of Pain, the Brewmaster, the Puck, the strong lane controllers mid.
Remaining.
And it could either be the Nyx or the Beastmaster mid. The Beastmaster can go off lane.
5 seconds remaining.
The Nyx can be as tri-lane support. Invasion doesn't really have a great offensive tri-lane, so I imagine they're going to run the defensive because Nyx needs a lot of levels, isn't strong until he gets ideally to level 7 or 8. And yeah, with Void, they're not going aggressive. So defensive tri-lane from Invasion. Beastmaster probably to go mid, and then they would need their offlaner. Could be an offlane Beast, but he's not really popular nowadays. And the issue with running the offlane Beast is he can be countered by a simple Sentry or Observer Ward in his own Ancients. Then there's really not much for him to do. He's a very slow jungler at the early levels. Lone Druid, the response from Neo.TH. Actually surprised this guy got through, but it's a strong solo for them. The Clock, the final choice for Invasion. Look at the range on this team. Beastmaster can scout you out anywhere. Rockets can scout you out anywhere. You can jump in from the hook. Obviously, Nyx, you never know where he is unless you have a gem or sentries in the lane. And even then, it's body at best. Void, long-range initiation for him. But Neo.TH is a Rubik, and I gotta say, I'm liking Neo.TH's lineup better. For Invasion, great potential, but a pretty much boomer bust lineup. A bad Chrono, a missed hook, maybe a Roar on a Lifesteal while he's raged. They don't really have much damage in the laning stage in the early game. Mid game, later on, they have tons of control. Once the Void gets farmed, they'll have plenty of damage within her Beast. But early on, they're going to be lacking. Neo.TH have tanky carries in the Druid and the Lifestealer. They can split push effectively. They can 5-man effectively. And Invasion, they have some good counter push. They do have Rocket. They have the Jakiro, who's one of the better counter pushing supports in the game. And you have Wild Axes from Beastmaster. But they don't have a hero like Kotal, who by himself can just stop a push. So if Neo.TH opts for something like an early mech on the Mag, once in a while we've even seen on Lone Druid, but very rarely, so probably the Mag it would be, then they may be able to go for the big group up and push. They can also just split push and look to outfarm Invasion. And they have options with their lanes. Probably we're going to see the Mag mid, the Lone Druid off lane, but they could run an aggressive tri-lane with the Lifestealer. With this Windrunner as the third pick, maybe they will. It looks like it may be an aggressive tri-lane with Windrunner, Lifestealer, as well as the Rubik, then the Mag mid, the Lone Druid safe lane, and that could be very potent for them, as Clockwork can get levels versus Lone Druid, should not die, but cannot really outfarm him, cannot stop him from farming, and eventually he's going to have trouble dealing with this push. So if that's how the lanes develops, I think Neo.TH is going to have the edge here in the laning stage. But with that being said, the game's now underway, so let's go ahead and introduce our teams. My mouse is working. So welcome everybody, this is a best out of one Neo.TH in Thailand. On the Dire side, we have the Magnus being handled by Cake Louis. He is going to be going mid, rushing the bottle. We have KYT on the Lifestealer. We have no CSM on the Rubik, Sentry or Observers for him. And it is going to be offensive trialing Smoke and Sentries on our support Windrunner. Something we haven't really seen all that much of, certainly not in Southeast Asia, but still a very strong support just because her auto attack is ridiculous in the lane. And in Traso, going to be playing that safe lane Druid. Is going to be rushing what looks to be a very early pair of Tranquil Boots for him, and he has been pulled a bit of regen from upper. So with that being said, on the side of Invasion, TSH takes axes at level 1. Probably going to be the solo mid for this team. He's playing the Beastmaster. Cutie Girls with a cutie girl face playing the Clock. Looks like he's going offlane the Stout Shield to deal with Druid. A pretty standard selection from him. Bye on the Jakiro. Playing the support Jakiro should be heading to the safe lane along with Shen Gigi. He's the captain of Invasion. He is a pretty savvy one at that, and let's see what he can make happen. He's going to have his hands full against this tri-lane. The good news is their carry is Void, who is very hard to kill in the laning stage because his armor's good. With a poor man shield and backtrap, half your attacks are either missing him or barely doing any damage, but it looks like Invasion wants to dodge the tri-lane. They're actually going to head towards the top side of the map, looking to get this Void some safer farm there and go aggressive against the Druid, who's going to be starting, the Lone Druid I should say, starting with an Invis rune. So instead, they'll leave Clockwork alone on the bottom lane. And I don't know how safe this Clock is going to be. I mean, just sort of thinking the matchup through. Sure, he can cog, but you can pull him out of his cogs, and then suddenly they can even just be a barrier for him when he's trying to escape. Of course, Lifesteal is good against strength heroes with high HP because open wounds, or not open wounds, but Feast is very effective against them. If they go for an early Rune of Basilius, it may be hard for him to stop the push. Rocket spam isn't that good at the early levels. It's nothing like Shockwave. It's got a long cooldown. It doesn't do much damage. But at the same time, your Void's likely to get farmed. They're going to start here with an Impale. They have Time Walk and the Ice Path. This might be our first blood with a sufficient body block. I don't know if it's good enough. They have another Impale, but they're actually not going for the kill. I think they had it there, but just didn't want to risk a trade. Yeah, there was no salve on Intray, so they definitely had that with a secondary Impale and Ice Path. But play it safe. Don't go for it in the end. And Neo.TH says, fine, you leave Clock here. We'll just get the 1v1 Lifesteal matchup anyway. A really nice adjustment for them. So they're not going to get kills on that Clock, and he will get levels, but their supports don't have to sit in the lane, whereas the supports of Invasion do. You can't leave a Void alone against the Lone Druid. He's just not going to get anything accomplished. So instead, they rotate towards mid. No, they rotate all the way to top. So they're going to run a defensive tri-lane with 3 ranged heroes. They don't have the most AoE at the early levels, but what they do have is a lot of just ability to chip away at heroes with auto attacks. Obviously, Windrunner's great at that. Lone Druid. Rubik's decent in a pinch. If you're Invasion, you really want to catch this Rubik. No CSM, he's the hero to keep an eye out on the tri-lane. He wants to sit behind the Lone Druid, and then when they go on the Lone Druid, you just lift and then look to stun 2, 3 heroes. Ideally, whoever hasn't used their stun, or the Void if he hasn't used something like Time Walk yet, or if he's not in range to auto attack. We'll see. In the mid lane, Beastmaster going Enter Beast build. I like this not going for the Hawk build. For the early Boar. The Boar is really not effective against Mag because Mag is great base armor, sitting at 5 already. You can't really harass him out of lane. What you want to do is out-rune control him, and the way you do that is by out-pushing him. But unfortunately, the rune spawns bottom, and of course the Dire have a big advantage to bottom runes. It's a much shorter travel path. They easily picked that one up, even though he didn't have vision. He knew it was there. And unfortunately, Clockwork didn't react, didn't go for that. Probably could have denied it. I mean, he has vision, but just choosing to stay bottom in the end. So the lanes, I gotta say, advantage should go to Neo.TH here, because Lifestealer can farm, Mag can farm, and the Lone Druid lane should be stronger as a tri-lane. So Invasion right not gonna have the best tri-lane, but that's okay. They have a very dominant mid-game lineup with a lot of gank potential with Roar, with the Nyx. We'll see if they can get there, though. The issue might be the Nyx isn't getting a lot of levels. He's gonna start doing some pulls of his own, pulling the big creeps in to the lane, and yep, just gonna be in range. So he'll aggro those up and look to contest the pull. Or to counter the pull, I should say, of Neo.TH. Of course, this is a best out of 1, guys. The winner is going to be moving on into the round of 16, and if whoever wins in the round of 16 advances to phase 2, where they'll be grouping up with the other 8 invited teams. I believe, though, that's going to be a best out of 3 format and single elimination as well, but we'll see. Hasn't been 100% confirmed just yet. But that's what Atri was whispering in my ear, so that's where things really get interesting. But we still had some great matches today. This one a little bit slow. In comes the Ice Path, only on the Bear, though. With Ice Path down, they could look to go. They don't have Entangle yet. Lone Druid's only level 3, but they can still do a lot of harassment. Look at the aggression, just constantly bullying the Void, who does have boots up, but no Poor Man Shield, something he's really going to want to get, being up against 3 ranged heroes who can just constantly plink away at him. Well, I imagine we'll see that next. With Rubik doing the pulls, if they know about this, they could look to actually go on a hero like the Lone Druid. Windrunner doesn't have a point of Windrun yet. Potentially a kill there as well. Gets aggressive, goes for Shackle. Again, the rune spawns bottom, so more rune luck for this Mag, who's now up to 23 CS. He's sitting at 6 CS a minute against a Beastmaster, who's maxing Inner Beast, and the reason that's relevant is he's always pushing the lane. So you're always last hitting under tower. It just, with all these runes, can shockwave constantly for every single creep kill. He's going to pop his regen now. There's no axes to cancel it. So Beastmaster getting some good CS, but in comes the Skewer mid, just spamming every little bit of nukes he can. Now going to go for an additional shockwave, I imagine. Nope, going to hold on to that mana. So the safe lane, Clockwork and Lifestealer CSing evenly, but obviously Lifestealer is a hero that needs the farm more than the Clockwork, so KYT is going to be pretty happy with this. Eats a rocket to the face. Does need to be a bit careful. With Hook being up, this could be our first blood, but Cutie Girls blows the Hook, and KYT is looking to man back up. There are battery assault charges, though. He could pop it now. He's not going to go for the cogs. Oh, if he hit that Hook, that was first blood. Oh, man, he's got to be kicking himself. Just didn't quite have the angle. Had to sweep out wider past the creep before going for it. It's the issue with laning as a hero like Clockwork against another melee is they're very likely just to be in the middle of the creep wave, and in traffic, it is much more difficult to hit Clockwork hooks than it is elsewhere. That Clock gonna TP back to base, so not only is he fair the kill, but now he's forced to leave the lane. Why do I keep on saying W sounds instead of L's? My bad. Uh-oh. Skewer mid. RP. And the kill that was missed by the Clock is now likely to be claimed by the Mag. Oh, he underestimated the mana. He didn't have mana for an additional shockwave. So in the end, it's Beastmaster turns around. Now has Roar. I think it's going to be first blood for Beast. Roar not going to go. Just thinking he's a little bit short. There was no shockwave. He doesn't have the board to chase, but oh man, it would have been close. He's just a little bit short of mana for the combo. He needed like 40 more. If he had it, he definitely would have gone. So 2 of the solos in this game just completely whiffing on their first blood attempts, especially mid. RP being on cooldown is a really big deal. The Clockwork Poke, not so much, but there's your Entangled Void, who does have Time Walk, and Ice Path used to disengage. It's hard to go on this lineup, but Lone Druid's out farming the Void. When we look at support levels, Jakiro and Nyx, the 2 lowest leveled supports in the game, the Rubik and the Windrunner leading. So overall, the laning stage definitely going in favor of Neo.TH. Lifestealer doesn't have his ultimate yet. This Cutie Girl's gonna go again. He's got the hook, but maybe could have. If he switches to Intreads, he'll have just enough for Rage, though, and I'm not sure if Clockwork can get the kill when the Lifestealer has Rage. Even when the Lifestealer is at half HP, he just chops through. He heals so much against the Strength here like Clock, especially because Clockwork doesn't have great armor. It's only 3 armor right now, and that means that Feast, which does physical damage, is going to hit even harder, so you get a little bit extra lifesteal for every auto attack. Actually, I'm not sure if you get a little bit of every lifesteal, or if you get extra lifesteal, but I know you do get extra damage, of course, so... yeah, I guess the lifesteal is just percentage based, so it doesn't matter about your armor, but he still is going to do more damage, so he's going to bring you down quicker during that rage, which is sort of the main point. On the top lane, looks like they're going to be backing off. A nice Observer Ward, spotting everything out. Void's getting some farm. He's not being totally shut down, but he's a hero that needs a lot of farm. He needs more than Lone Druid, and right now he's getting less. That Lone Druid now going for Phase Boots on the Bear. Generally, you'll see... Oh, they're going to go with the Impale, starting off. Now the Ice Pet to fall, but they... Oh, the Shackle there. Catches 2 heroes. ChenGG to fall. First Blood finally claimed. There is a Time Walk. He's got to use it soon. He will Time Walk away. He doesn't have Chrono yet. The backup has arrived in the form of a Beastmaster, but a Mag has also arrived, and I'd rather have the RP than a Roar in this fight. Oh, man. This is a strong group up and push. Can Invasion actually stop this push? There's supports who have the damage under leveled. Big dive from Lone Druid. RP catches out the Beast, brings him down with the Shockwave. He will not actually be able to roar anything. Now the Impale, catching the Windrunner as well as the Magnus on the backsides. Nice play from ChenGG. Time Walk in for the Void. Nyx gets the kill. The Lone Druid on the way out. No roar was used. The Beastmaster bought back, TP'd in top. Did not actually use this roar yet. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Lifestealer manning up on Cutie Girls, who hooks in, rockets in, Infest from KYT. See ya, sister. Cutie Girls is dead. And that early first blood that he just barely missed, really coming back to haunt him now. As Neo.TH, in the end, end up getting the first blood top lane. Now the score 3-1. Big, big gold lead. All 3 of their solos, or all 3 of their cores getting massive farm. Big experience lead as well. 3.5k experience. The way the laning stage is enveloped for Invasion is just pretty awful, to be honest. They weren't prepared for the aggressive tri-lane. They tried to switch and go aggressive on their own, but like I talked about in the draft, they just don't have a lineup that can really win an aggressive tri-lane. Void is weak in aggressive tri-lanes. Although he's hard to kill, he's not going to do much to win the lane. They'll just limit the damage, basically. Jakiro, not that strong in tri-lanes because he doesn't do enough damage and he's clunky. It's hard to land his Ice Path on multiple heroes when you really need to, as it does have that formation time, which is quite annoying. And of course, a hero like Nyx Assassin needs level 6, so they tried to dodge the tri-lane, but Neo.TH just rotated correctly and punished it, and now they're feeling desperate. They're smoking bottom with 4 heroes, while the Clockwork's going to farm mid, so they're backing up behind the Void. They should be able to bring the Lifestealer down with Roar. He doesn't have Infest right now, but he's going to back off. Great map awareness from KYT. Back to the tower for him. Invasion thwarted again, and this is a 4-hero gank. Well, 3 heroes, 1 farming, but with the map looking how it is for Neo.TH, you gotta be a little suspicious. You see 2 heroes on the map right now, and the 3 that are missing are 3 that are likely to be ganky. So good map awareness from them, as well as just a really long smoke. Generally, when you go for a smoke gank, you don't want to go all the way across the map like that, because it just gives your opponents more time to take a look at the map, realize something's up, and back off, and that's exactly what we saw there. Regen. Uh-oh, here's a Roar. KYT, though, not taking any damage. He's at 1,300 HP with this Bracer. RP on 2. Hook on in. Catches the Lifestealer. A pile drives him into the cliff where the Shockwave can do most of the damage. Shackle is going to catch TSH, being plinked away upon. Plink, plink, dead. There's the Shockwave. Finishes the job. KYT on the chase. No mana right now. 8 stick charges, though. Could look to go. Void Time walks in, but he doesn't have Chrono. He's got a Quelling Blade. Can he actually win this fight? He should be able to get the kill. The Impale will be there. Doesn't quite get to, but around the Lifestealer will come. He does. Is there Chrono yet? Still no Chrono, but 3 heroes here. Where's the backup for KYT? It's top, where the Lone Druid is just pushing away. There's no hook. That'll be the end of the engagement. So Lone Druid pushes top, has the phase boots up. And now going to continue chipping away at this tower. And for invasion, the issue is going to be you're using so much to kill the Lifestealer, then you don't have those spells to kill the Lone Druid. Once they get Chrono, they'll have an additional way to kill him, but now he's got his ultimate. He's going to pop it here and barely going to take any damage. There's no Roar, but I don't know if Intreso realizes that. He's trying to run. T.S.H. could maybe chase this, but not going to risk that. He would have to wait until he got about here to actually go. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Lifestealer just zoning the Void out of the lane. This is a sad face indeed. Nothing he can do. 1300 HP. How do you kill this guy? And 9 armor. Virtually impossible.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Void nowhere to farm. I mean, that's really the biggest issue. The offensive tri-lane, the Void just couldn't do anything. Now Shackle, not gonna latch. The Impale comes in. No ultimate yet. Upper, though, is gonna be roared, brought down just before he can win run away. Just enough burst to secure that kill. But it's only the 4 or 5 position Windrunner. I guess the 4. Yeah, it has the Arcane Boots up, so not being played as the hard support, which makes sense. Rubik a little bit less item dependent. But still, Neo.TH Thailand in fantastic position right now. They have the early tower advantage with that tier 1 down top, with mid lane just being pushed. And Invasion are just really struggling for levels. Again, looking at the support levels, 5 and 5 on the Nyx and the Twin-Headed Dragon. Meanwhile, at level 5, or level 6 and 6 on the Rubik and the Windrunner. And level 6 for a Nyx is huge. They still don't need sentries. They don't have to buy sentries in the lane. That's a big tax on the supports. Instead, they can get things like Magic Wand. They can get things like a Bracer or Arcane Boots, and that's what we're seeing from Neo.TH. Shen GG going back to base. He really needs to be doing some pulling or just take the farm top. He is actually their most important hero right now in terms of getting experience. Void is going to be important later on, but this Nyx has to create space. They're behind. In order to catch up, they're going to need to use the Nyx and the Beastmaster and the Clockwork effectively, roaming around the map, sniping heroes off for a caught split pushing, which is the style of this Neo.TH lineup. With Lone Druid, Mag, as well as Lifestealer, you basically want to be split pushing most of the time. You can come to fights, but you don't really need to. There's a hook. They're going to start with the Roar, of course, now. Oh, no, not with the Roar. Sorry, I guess with the Ice Path. They get the kill. A big kill on the Mag. He had his Blink, but he wasn't able to use it there. Great initiation. Fantastic order of operations, but still the trade. The tier 1 falls bottom. The Glyph is here. I don't even think they get a tower off of this. It's going to be pretty close. The Glyph can come in right now. They're going to pop it immediately. Maybe they just do. With the Inner Beast Star, it should be enough. Tower's going to drop, but the trade will be there as the Lone Druid continues to farm in the jungle. Went back for a Midas, so really fat. Really going to accelerate his farm. It's a bit of a late Midas, but a Midas is a Midas is a Midas. He's going to pull ahead. And the 2 carries right now, all 3 of the cores for Neo.TH just way ahead, even after that tier 1 mid. Whoever's saying my FPS is stuttering, it's sitting at about 60 FPS right now on the client, and I'm streaming at 30, so I think the stuttering may be on your end. But middle lane onto TSH, they'll go. He's shackled, no creep, then he's RP'd with the double damage. It's enough. They will successfully bring him down. But yeah, I don't think any of the... If there's any delay issues, it's not my computer itself. It's nothing I can fix on the PC. It's either something with the connection, although I'm not dropping frames, so I don't think it's that, or some issue between you and Twitch. So I do apologize for any of the technical issues, but I actually already have that command enabled. And I don't think it's the issue anyway. But bye. You're going to TP away now. No Ice Path. We'll be able to escape.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Bottom lane. Mag's going to skewer in the Void. RP catches out the Lifestealer onto the tower, but he's so damn tanky. He's got 1500 HP. He's going to infest. He's going to rage. The Chrono was stolen by Nosum and used beautifully. Now Cutie Girls surrounded and brought down. Throws out a feudal hook to the south, but that won't do a thing. Now the infest. Now the pop out and the retreat. He's got the drums. The extra HP, all he needed. By the way, they're still playing 5v4. They're still playing without this Lone Druid. 4v5, I should say. Now he's going to go for the tier 2 mid, and he is getting really fat. This is going to put him at like 7.5k, 7.8k net worth. Oh, he misses the last hit, so never mind that.
Has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Bottom lane, Mag blinks in, catches the Beastmaster with the skewer, and another easy kill, just lurking on the high ground. It is daytime, so you get great vision here. Just able to spot him out and pick him off. Meanwhile, mid lane, they go on the Lone Druid, but he's got stick charges and a TP. Is there an additional stun? There's actually not. He could have TP'd out immediately, but now it may be too late. No Mana Fern and Pale. He has 1 stick charge. I don't think it'll be enough. He dodges the Ice Path, and actually in the end it's not needed. Is Clockwork gonna man up? He's not gonna win this fight. He's not going to, so they'd lose the tier 2. The map control really slipping right now for Invasion. And they're the lineup who should have the map control advantage, in theory, with all their vision skills, the Hawk, obviously the Beastmaster, or the Clockwork Rocket, and of course the Nyx Assassin, who could just be anywhere. But when you can't leave your base, and when Neo.TH's carries are Lifestealer and Druid, who are so tanky that they're not going to die without you throwing everything at them, then the strength of this Invasion lineup really neutered. They needed a fast level 6 on Nyx. That's why they wanted to go defensive Trilane. When they were forced to switch to an offensive one to dodge the Trilane of Neo.TH, that's where they just weren't prepared for the way the game developed. And it was smart play by Neo.TH and Invasion just not anticipating the lane matchups that ended up coming out. Now they're going Roche. This should be a very easy Roche, and it could be even a Relic soon for the Druid, as he does have 3 seconds until his Midas cools down. He may get the last hit on Roche. You probably want to give it to him. Oh no! Oh no! Oh! That Lifestealer. He's sad. He's very sad right now. If he had his armlet on, he wouldn't have died, but just toggling at the wrong moment. Pays for it with his life. Pro snipe indeed. And that's a pretty big kill, but the Lone Druid just isn't dying this game. He's 0-0-1, but we look at net worth, and he's sitting at almost 9k net worth. The Void's at 5. He's even trying to go Battle Fury, which is just not going to happen this game. I would really like to see just a Mask of Madness rush, maybe even Slick Yash, but they hook in top onto Trace, so the issue's going to be, he has Aegis, and with the TP in for the Mag, they could maybe completely turn this fight around. The Chrono deployed, they will kill the Lone Druid, now they need to get the hell out, they catch the... Oh no, here comes the Lifestealer into the middle of the fight. The Mag RP has not even been used yet, but he could look to go on this Void. Who is he going to chase? Open wounds on the Jakiro, they're going to let the Void escape, but that's 4 heroes dead. Diving that Lone Druid when he had Aegis, just a really bad decision from Invasion. Something they never should have tried, but they just felt desperate. They wanted to force the issue, and now they're going to hunt the Void, thinking, hey, he's going to go far mid. And they're right. He is going to go far mid. Lifestealer has his armlet ready to pop. He's going to do a lot of damage. Blink in and RP. This will be the death of the Void unless he gets the backtracks of his life. And those are definitely not the backtracks of anyone's life. KYT working away on that tower mid, gets mana burn. Should be okay though. And Invasion, just strategically, there's nothing their lineup can do. Their lineup was built to be even or ahead entering the mid game. At least having towers up, so they could go for some smoke ganks, bait the Void, position a few heroes behind him, or just look to get aggressive with the Nyx Assassin Vendetta. But at this point in the game, Neo.TH's rich. They're always going to have sentries in the lane. Your Nyx will never get the jump. You don't really have a great initiate. Sure, your Void can jump in Chrono, but that doesn't do damage, and their follow-up is just not that strong. Jakiro has his ult. In theory, it's a powerful nuke, but in practice, it's hard to actually land that combo as Lifestealer goes in, catches out Cutie Girls, will drop quickly. KYT secures that one. Meanwhile, Ice Path stolen, used again by the Rubik, zapping away, driving them back into the base with you, sir. Relic now up on the Lone Druid, who's pulled a Peering Flax, acquired himself an Ironwood branch that he doesn't actually need because it looks pretty sexy. And now they're going to push bottom or mid. Either way is an option. RP cooling down, Vanguard up on the Mag, just going for the items that will allow them to end the game now, like the Mechanism. Smart items anyway, but especially in this game. What a shackle from Upper. Catches out this Jakiro, who now is open wounds, and just bashed. Just crashes into the ground. Jakiro like a blimp. Down he'll go. The Hindenburg. I mean, that's what Jakiro looks like. He looks like a flying blimp of a hero, basically. Nice blanket from the Mag with the backstab skewer. Brings the Nyx into the party. He did use his Spike Carapace, but it won't matter. Chrono catches everyone, but there's no damage. This ain't gonna work. Sad, sad Void. The hook as well. Won't even make a difference. There is a Rage in 3 seconds time, and there's an Infest, if needed, can pop right out. The Chrono was stolen by the Rubik, dropped and deployed while they chip away at Cutie Girls. The Void trying to run. Looks like he was a little bit slow to retreat there. And with that, there's no Roar. There's no Chrono. There's no Nyx Impale. Well, because he's dead, I should say. Not because he doesn't have it. And they can easily look to break the base. They didn't even use RP in that fight. That's just the silly thing about it. They never needed to use the reverse polarity. They're just able to calmly but firmly end this game, getting the Rex. 20 minutes in, 17-5. The Bear gets ganked. Blinking! RP on everyone! Pulling a Yao of his own is Cake Joy. And that might just be time to GG out right this second. Yep, there you go. Invasion, they have had enough, and they are done. Neo.TH puts the nails in the coffin. An impressive display for them. I thought Invasion was a bit of a stronger team, but never can you rule out Neo.TH and Thailand. Like I said earlier, they're a very solid team, and a team that you just can't sleep on. And the way they drafted, Invasion going for heroes like Clockwork and Beastmaster, they just don't synergize that well with Void, and the main issue came down to their tri-lane. Just nowhere to put the Void in a tri-lane, not expecting that aggressive tri-lane from Neo.TH, and just unable to deal with it when it came, unable to catch up in the mid-game, because Lone Druid and Lifesteal are not easy kills for a hero like Nyx, like Beastmaster. Oh boy, guys. Neo.TH is moving on, but we're not done yet. We have a lot more G1 League action coming up as the day progresses. Stay tuned. I'm LD of Beyond the Summit. You can follow me if you like my casting, twitter.com/LDDota. If you're watching this on Twitch TV, I beg of you, I highly encourage you to support the G1 League and watch the stream from their official website. It will help them to do this event in the future. It's the data from the viewership on the site is going to... Oh, I'm playing the stream by accident. Is going to allow them to actually tell their sponsors, hey, English viewers are really into this. You know, we can bring more North American, European teams in, and we'll get support. So it'll be much more important later on in the tournament, but start now. Get in the habit of doing it. Go to g1.2p.com and watch the stream from there. You still have your chat. You still can full screen the stream, and it's just a nice way to support 17173 as well as the G1 League. We're doing a fantastic job bringing us the Southeast Asian qualifier and really the first international, truly international Dota 2 event since the International 2, and possibly the only one before the International 3. We'll see about that, though. But thank you all for tuning in. Stay tuned. More qualifier action after this. Neo.TH and Thailand move on. Invasion Red goes home.